Please welcome Mr. David Nickle.
So how often do you get to have a civil engineer present somebody to you? Not very often. But I've been in New York now for about 15 years, and I came here to be with Hal Rubenstein. Last night, when Hal and I were at the final performance of Angels in America, Perestroika at the Signature Theater, with our guest host in the performance, I noticed that the words that Tony Kirshner wrote were fascinating for me. I love words. I love what they say. I love the way they look. I love the way they smell. And Hal is all about words. So as we're leaving the theater, and some of Michael Urie's final words in the epilogue are stuck in my head. This disease will be the end of many of us, but not nearly all. And the dead will be commemorated and will struggle on with the living. And we are not going away. We won't die secret deaths anymore. In the play, Tony Kirshner is talking about AIDS. But this time what flashed before my eyes was another plague. Young people abandoned by their families, bullied and ostracized in schools, and killing themselves. Live Out Loud responds to this challenge in a variety of ways, one of which is by exposing high school-aged youth to role models who have succeeded in all the ways that these young people feel they never could. These leaders are frequently described as courageous, confident, comfortable with themselves, and they have created successful careers without hiding. I do not know that anyone I have ever met quite encompasses all of these descriptions as much as Hal Rubenstein. If you know him, you know the full enormity with which he lives. Hal introduced me to Live Out Loud about 7 years ago. Live Out Loud was a young organization, and Leo had money for 4 scholarships. But he had 7 really promising possible recipients who were all amazing, and it was literally killing him that he had to cut 3 of them. Hal called me and said he wanted to call 2 friends of ours, Eric and Tony, to go halvesies to make sure that all 7 people could receive a scholarship. Of course, they said yes. The young ones got all the scholarships, and our organization, with Hal and my partners, have been partnered with Live Out Loud ever since. It's like the perfect Jewish planetary confluence. Anyway, I do want to take this opportunity to say thank you to Hal for being a role model, for being a community leader, for providing energy to inspire young people to excel in their lives, to live their lives, and to help empower them as part of Live Out Loud's vision, to live proud, to live out, and to live free. And so I'd like to present the Founders Award to my partner of 15 years, Hal Rubenstein.
In case you didn't hear his name as he was walking up, it's David Nickle. Before I say anything else, obviously it's made a major impression. Michael mentioned it only cursorily, but David and I did experience one of the most thrilling evenings I have ever spent in the theater by attending the final performance of the Signature Theater's company's soul-shaking production of Perestroika, the second half of Tony Kirshner's epic Angels in America, featuring a performance by Michael Urie that was so witty, so heartbreaking, and infused with life-affirming energy that I am as excited and honored to be on this stage with him as I am to be with you. The hypnotic wonder of Kirshner's masterpiece is how he insists and then proves that the only way to triumph over a world plagued by adversity, dishonesty, loss, prejudice, and uncertainty is to live fearlessly and, however foolishly, filled with hope. I am a rare and very lucky man, and not just because I wake up next to that silver-haired guy every morning. Though believe me, it helps. Unlike most of my contemporaries, I didn't find adolescence torture or coming out traumatic. Why? I told you, I was lucky. But maybe it was because I grew up in a home where I was reminded every day that I was loved unconditionally. And when I told my dad, mind you, that I was gay, the first thing he asked was, But are you happy? I want you to be. Well, Dad, I am so very happy. Oh, yeah, David will tell you later over a Grey Goose at the cocktail party about how I often complain or I'm carping about something all the time. But that's just an inevitable involuntary reflex brought about by the deadly combination of being a native New Yorker and Jewish. Now, I do try to give up whining along with bread for Passover, so David enjoy it while it lasts, because everything ends at sundown tomorrow. Yet, despite my knee-jerk fetching, I really am a happy guy, and especially tonight. As a founding member, board member, I couldn't be more pleased at this evening's turnout. And as my fellow honorees would agree, all credit goes to Live Out Loud's very own shinily painted angel, Leo Preziosi. In Kushner's play, he paints Roy Cohn as the personification of pure evil. But have you ever met pure goodness? If not, you really must introduce yourself to Leo. As David recalled, Eric, Tony, David, and I started Funding the Sun just because of him. Well, Leo and his mission, which is the heart of this event and the true source of my happiness. The 4 young men, Nick, Derek, Michael, and Lane, who you will soon meet, who make it such a privilege, a guilty pleasure really, to support Live Out Loud among Funding the Sun's designated charities. They're so bright, adventurous, gutsy, sparkling, determined, and so young. But what really fills me with joy is that their goals are not simply based on what was once the catchphrase of my generation, gay pride. 40 years ago, when shame shadowed virtually every coming out, gay pride had reason to be a primary end in itself. But today, being proud just because you're gay is like boasting you have blue eyes, or just because you're 6'4". Remember, it's not like we had a choice in any of these. Though given the option, I gotta tell you, I really love being gay. I do think it's cool. Well, I digress, sort of. You see, the advantage of being gay is that there is a constant reminder that you are different and that you will always be judged differently. The reality is that everyone, gay, bi, transgender, and straight, is unlike anyone else. And yet we live in a world that is so obsessed with fitting in, especially in high school. But where's the fun or the fulfillment in being just one of the crowd? In case you hadn't noticed lately, majority rule is nothing to brag about. Equal rights, yes, but only because it gives us license to explore. We may all be playing in the same band, but I'll choose my own instrument, thank you very much. What we always need to encourage and celebrate are those who love themselves enough that they're willing to take a risk and shoot for something unexpected and wonderful, like what Michael did on stage last night, or what these 4 teens we soon honor have done already at such a young age in their communities. That's something to be proud and even better, loud about. And it's just their beginning. Near the end of Perestroika, Kushner writes, "Love will make you go places you never dreamed you'd dare to go." So thank you for this recognition. But honestly, it's the result of pure selfishness. Because what could be more spirit-lifting, more satisfying in life than making it possible for youth who willfully embrace their difference to dare to dream about something that could be, or to become someone who will be amazing. Thank you.
Thanks.